Hey, you guys, this is Dee Edwards, and I am anointed to pull individuals out of poverty through the power of entrepreneurship. I believe that you can be saved and paid at the same doggone time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much to all of my replay viewers. Listen, on today, I want to talk to those who have experienced a change in plan. You know how sometimes that you can have your mind so set on what it is that God is going to do in your life. You can see the course so plain and clear, and then all of a sudden, life really happens and nothing is going the way that you planned. Oh my goodness. I want to talk to those who are experiencing that right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey Mary, hey Monica, hey Tanja, hey my sister, hey Brenda, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey Donna, thanks so much for tuning in. So watch this. I want to talk to those who have been in a season where when they felt in one season that everything was going as planned, and then all of a sudden life really happened and life doesn't seem to be going in the direction in which they thought that it should be going. Hey Cara, hey Latasha. So watch this. This is what David was saying in Psalm 73 verse number 21. He said this: did I keep my heart pure for nothing? Did I keep my innocent for no reason? So David was saying that he kept his heart pure. He kept his heart clean, that he was doing the will of the Father. He said, I kept myself innocent. He said, I didn't get engaged in anything. I did what you have told me to do. I get nothing but trouble all day long. So he was saying, Brenda, that I'm doing all of this for you, God. But it seems like every time I look in one direction, I feel that I'm crushed on every side. Every time I turn around, it's one thing after another. Did I do all of this for nothing? Did I keep my innocence for nothing? Because every single day, all I get is trouble. Every single day, all I get is bad news. Every single day, all I get is bills. Every single day, my marriage isn't going well. My children are acting up. The ministry is not going as well. Clients are not coming through the door. So it seemed like every single day is one thing after another. And then he said that I get nothing but trouble on all day long. And every morning it brings me pain. So it was at a particular point, Anita, that he was saying that every single day I get nothing but pain. He was like, every single morning I'm no longer enjoying the joy of my salvation. I'm no longer enjoying the things that you promised me, God. But when I wake up, all I see is pain. Can anybody testify that when they get up, that all they see is the havoc? When they get up, all they see is the hell. When they get up, all they see is what they have gone through. And so David said, I kept all of this to myself, because in verse number 15, he said that if I had spoken this way to others, I would have been a traitor to your people. So watch this. He was saying that the people know that I love you. The people know that I'm saved. The people know that I go to church. So I can't really share my heart with everybody. Yeah, my God. Hey, Trafina, hey, Lavonda. He was saying that I cannot really share my feelings. I really can't share my experience with everybody, because everybody see me as their strength. I really can't express to everybody what I'm going through, because I am their backbone. So I got to keep all of this that I'm going through all to myself. And then he said, then watch what he said. He said that if I had really spoken this way to others, I would have been a traitor to your people. So I tried to understand why the wicked prospered, but what a difficult task it is. So this is what David was saying. David was saying that I'm trying to do your will. I'm trying to do what you have called me to do, but I'm seeing that the wicked is excelling. I'm seeing that the people who are not praying like I am, the people who are not going to church like I am, the people who are not sacrificing like I am, I'm seeing them excel, and I'm trying to understand. And he said, oh, what a difficult task this is. Listen, he said that this was a difficult task for him to do. And some of you all are saying that this is so difficult for me to understand why you, God, said that it rains on the just and the unjust alike. God, this is so difficult for me to understand why it seemed like the unrighteous is prevailing, why it seems like the unrighteous is winning. It seemed like the unrighteous is going to the top, but yet I stay in this low place. Yet I'm still struggling. Yet my finances still are not coming together. God, this is a difficult task for me to understand. And then verse number 21, this is where God get real serious here. This is where David get real vulnerable. He said, then I realized that my heart was bitter. And then at this point, when he was trying to understand like his life, when he was trying to figure it out, he realized that he was bitter because because he was not winning. He realized that he was bitter because it looked like everybody else was excelling. It looked like that he was going to be known only as the cheerleader. It looked like everybody else was prospering and moving forward. Their dreams are coming to pass. That you see their vision living out loud. But here you are trying to do the will of God and nothing is working out for you. This is what David said. And so David said that my heart, it became bitter. He said it became bitter. He said, I was all torn up inside. He said, I was all torn up inside, Tundra. He said, I was going through some things. He was like, this thing was hurting me. It almost made me want to walk away from the household of faith. It almost made me want to walk away from you, God. It made me not even believe anymore in the power. Is there truly a God? After all of this that I've gone through, and it seemed like I'm dealt a bad hand, is there really a God? This is what David was saying. And then watch this. He said, I was so foolish and I was arrogant. I must have seemed like I was a senseless animal to you. He said, yet I still belong to you and you hold my right hand. So he was saying that I was experiencing all of that emotional turmoil. But then he came to his senses and he said that, wait, yet I still belong to you outside of all of that. And so I want you guys to understand that sometime God would tell you to go in one direction and then all of a sudden he would change the course. And so I want to testify to you guys as to what happened. Cara and I, we were on our way to Michigan on Friday. And so when we get to the airport, I had to let Cara know that I left my ID at home. I left my ID, I left my credit cards, I left everything at home. Now, if anybody know me, know that I don't go anywhere without this information. And so we were perplexed, but yet we said that we were going to trust God at the outcome as to what would happen. So we get through security, and but security let me through, and then they had this new process where the dogs had to go through it. So it was causing the security checkout to be much longer than intended. And so Cara and I were looking at our watch, and we're realizing that the time that is going by, that it looked like that we're really close to our flight. And so as we get through all of that, we had to run to get on the airplane. But guess what happened? They had already closed the door, and then we had missed our flight. Okay. And so have any of you all have ever experienced a time in your life where you put forth the extra effort, but it still seemed like you missing it? It still seemed like things are not coming together. And so that's how Cara and I felt when we were trying to get to Michigan. And so, okay, so it was a bunch of us who had missed our flight. So we went to the counter, and they were giving people credits and refunds and all of that. So Cara and I, we decided that we're going to be smarter than the people, that we're going to check additional airlines. And so we found one that was leaving like within an hour. And so we went to the counter. We didn't give them a big house or anything. And so when we realized that it was a flight that was leaving in about an hour, we decided to book the flight right then. And so we booked the flight, and it was like $600. So to make a long story short, we had to run to catch this flight. Y'all wouldn't believe that when we got to the counter, Sophia, you're not going to believe this. When we got to the counter for the new flight, they said, I don't see no Cara indeed that's missing from this flight. We said, oh, never mind. We got proof right here that we're supposed to be on this flight. And so when the flight attendant, when she began to look at the flights, we realized that we booked again for the wrong date. Y'all need to hear me, that we booked again for the wrong date. So here we are. We're trying to do everything that we can to get to Michigan. But how many of you all know that no matter what we tried to do, God was trying to show us that he was changing the course. God was trying to show us that he was changing the plan. Our mind was so set on getting to one destination, but we didn't understand that God was setting us up because he was changing the plan. And what we realized is that we realize is that you got to be okay in this season, Levon, with God changing your plan. You got to be okay if God tell you to do one thing in one season, and then in the next season he changed the plan. You got to understand that according to Psalm 73 and 24, like David said, he said, you guide me with your counsel. He said that you guide me with your counsel, because if we would have gotten on that flight, we may not have made it back in time for our next engagement. If we would have gotten on the flight, something could have happened to the airplane. If we would have gotten on the flight, something could have happened in Michigan. And so when God began to change your plan, you got to understand that it's for your protection. You got to understand that it's for your better good. And so you got to learn to trust God with all of your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Your understanding said that we were supposed to be on that flight. Your understanding said that you have a plan. Your understanding said that you were going in this course. But you have to understand that there's going to be a time in your life when God redirects you, and it's all because of his counsel. Because God can lead you in another direction. It's for his counsel. God can tell you to start off in one path. He can tell you to go in one direction. But you have to understand that when he changed the course, it's still the will of the Father. Y'all need to understand that it's still God's plan when he changed the course. And watch what David said. He said, you guide me with your counsel, leading me to a glorious destination. So he was saying that although I changed the plan, the destination is still going to be glorious. The destination is still going to be in your favor. The destination is still going to work together for the good of those who love the Lord. He said the destination is what he's trying to get you to. So you have to learn how to loose the reins. You got to learn how to lose control, because that's the thing. What happened with most of us, we are in a tug of war with God because we are still trying to stay in control, yet God is trying to move us. We still want to stay on this path, but God is redirecting our path. And sometimes God will use storms. He will use troubles. He will use different instruments and opportunities to redirect you. And so you have to understand that when you are facing a storm and when things happen all of a sudden in your life, it doesn't mean that it is the devil. It could simply mean that God is rerouting you. It could simply mean that he's putting you on that glorious path. And so you got to learn to trust God with everything that's in you. Ernestine, you got to learn to just trust God. Erica, we got to learn how to trust God, because it's still the alignment. It's still God's will. The change of plan is still God's will. The change, the course that he's making, thanks for sharing this out, is still his will. And so sometimes I get in trouble with the Lord because I'm so dead set on trying to stick to the plan. I'm so dead set with trying to stick to the vision. I'm so dead set to sticking to what I wrote down. But God said that I am the one that makes it successful. And that's why the Bible said that you got to write it down, but you also got to go back and take God the plan so that he can change some things, so that he can scratch some things out, because some of you all have been on the same course for way too long, and God said that you have become complacent on this course, and so the next level is going to stretch you. The next level is going to pull you outside of your comfort zone, because there is more that the Lord wants to get to you. But as long as you stay on this same course, you're not going to be able to you're not going to get all of it. If you were to stay on this same course, you are not going to be able to have all that God has for you. So you got to be willing for God to change the plans. You got to be willing for God to direct your path. You got to be willing to go into flow with God. You got to go. So God may be changing some of your employment status right now. Listen, as a matter of fact, some of your mates are changing right now. And some of your businesses are changing right now. Some of your relationships are changing right now. Just understand that everything that happened, even if it was bad, everything that has happened, it still works out because God is trying to get you to a glorious destination. The destiny that God has for you. He said that it is glorious. And then watch what he said in verse number 25. He said, whom have I in heaven but you? He said that I desire you more than anything on the earth. And so now David was coming to his senses now. He said, wait a minute. At first I was bitter. At first I was mad because you changed the course. At first I was mad because I wasn't prospering. At first I was mad because things weren't working out. But he said, now I have to remind myself that I really desire you more than anything on earth. And he said, my health may fail. My spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. And that's what you have to remember, that you got to stay with God. and allow him to remain the strength of your heart. Do not lose focus on God because you're so busy looking at stuff, or you're so busy trying to look at your path. You're so busy trying to look at the avenue or the streets or the direction that God is trying to take you to. You got to just remember to keep your heart strengthened in the hands of God. What I realized is that when God changed things up, God is not trying to destroy me. When God changed some things up in my life, it is to bring me to an expected end. When God changed things up in my life, that means that he's really trying to elevate me. He's really trying to protect me. He's really trying to guard me. When God changed things up, you got to just learn to trust the process. Yeah, that's what many of us don't understand. So, Shonda, we don't want to trust the process, but we got to learn to trust the process, Michelle. Trust the process. Trust the process. It may be hard when God changes it, because if any of you all are like me, you like to stay in control of things. You like to know what's next. You like to know 1, 2, and 3. Okay? But God was like, that's not how I work. And he wants us to be able to just trust him. The timing of God is not the same as ours. God works in Kairos time, not chronological time. And so there's a set and an appointed time for you to get to that destination. So if that means that God had to reroute you in order to do it, let God's will be done. I know that it may feel like you're going through hell right now. I know that you may be experiencing a lot of anguish right now. I know that you may have cried more in this year than you have ever cried before. But will you still just trust God? Will you still just lean onto God's unchanging hand? Like his hand don't never change, but the plan may change. Yeah, God's name never changes, but the plan may change. God is still the great I am. He is still the good shepherd. That he's still the CEO of your life. He's still master. He's still chief. He's still Abba Father. Like his name does not change, although he may have to change the path. So you just got to trust God. And so some of you all really just need to say, Lord, I trust you when you are rerouting me. God, I trust you when you're changing the plan. God, I don't like change. I like things to remain consistent in my life. I like for things to remain constant in my life. I like for people to remain constant and consistent in my life. But God, I trust you above all that. I trust you in the midst of all of that. Trust God through that entire process. Come back to yourself. Tandra, we got to come back to ourselves and stop looking at the circumstance. Stop looking at what happened. Because Cara and I, we could have been frustrated in the airport because there's a lot of things that took place. Like we had to be on hold for over an hour in one destination. We had to run through the airport like football players. We spent 7 hours in the airport trying to get to a destination that God had changed. And God said that as long as you fight against, y'all need to hear this because this is the word of the Lord for you. God is saying that as long as you fight against the process, as long as you fight against the change, you will stay in that stagnant place. You will stay in a place that you're not meant to be much longer. Because we were still trying to make it fit. We were still trying to make it work, Tamika. We were still trying to get there. But God had already changed the plan. And we could have submitted to it earlier, but instead we had a way. And the Bible said that there's a way that seemed right unto God, but the end thereof is death or destruction. And so you got to make sure that your way is not leading you into destruction, that your way is not leading you into death. Because when your way is right, it'll feel good to you. People would justify it. That's your way. But there's a way that is right unto God. There's a path that is right unto God. And you got to stop fighting the process. Otherwise, you will be in a place much longer than it was ever intended for you to stay. Thank you for sharing this out. Trust God on this new path. And I believe today that the Lord wants to set you up on a new path, that God wants to enlarge your territory, that God is expanding your jurisdiction, that God is expanding your influence. But see, you're so dead set, Shaquita, because you want God to do it this way. When God said that I got to reroute you in order to get you the blessing. I got to reroute you in order for the vision to come to pass. I got to reroute you in order for you to birth out what's been in you. I got to reroute you in order to make more money. I got to reroute you so that you can start that ministry. I got to reroute you so that you can start that business. I want to reroute you. And so in this process, listen, Vicky, I need y'all to understand this, that in this process, David had become bitter against heaven. David had become bitter against God because things were not working out as he thought it should. He had become bitter because things were not going according to his plan. And so you got to make sure that when you're going through your process, don't become bitter. Do not harden your heart. Don't harden your heart. Just understand that it is the will of God. It's the will of God. And you can't keep making decisions based upon your emotions. You can't even keep making decisions based upon the way that you want them to go. And that's what God had to tell me. D, you got to let go. Stop trying to hold on to things. Stop holding on. Stop trying to hold on. Stop trying to hold on when I'm trying to reroute you. And then watch this. Oftentimes when God is rerouting us and when he's changing the plan, we know it before we have to go through the detour. Yeah. So many of us have to go through the detour. Many of us have to go through some heartaches and pain because when he was trying to make you break away, when God was trying to tell you to move on, you wouldn't do it. And so now sometimes God have to use a little heartache. He got to use a little pain. But one thing that I love most about God, he said that I'm close to the brokenhearted. Yeah. So even in that pain, and even if you're in the midst of that storm, God is not going to forsake you because he's still going to be close to you. Because you may be contrite. You may be like bitter, like David is bitter. Your spirit may be growing weary. Yeah, but God is not going to leave you. He's going to lead you. Y'all need to hear me. That God is not going to leave you. He's only leading you to a glorious destination. There's plans that God has for you. His plans are so good, and you cannot be afraid to lose some stuff in order to see the destination that God had for you. Because in that process, Cara and I, we lost out on the money that we paid for our first flight. We lost out on it. So in your process of rerouting and God changing the plans, some of you all may lose out on some things, but you still got to understand that it is the will of the Father. See, people don't understand that losing stuff also means that it is God. Because some of you all feel like you don't have to lose anything, that it must be the devil when you start losing some things. No, it's still God when he have to take some things away from you. It's still God when he have to script some things away from you. It's still God when he have to redirect you. We could have sat in that airport and we could have been bitter. We could have been really angry with God because we lost out on our time. We lost out on our airplane flight ticket. We were hungry. We were tired because we had to walk a long way. You know, there were so many reasons why we could have been upset and bitter. And so I'm telling you this because you have so many reasons as to why you should be upset. You have so many reasons as to why you should walk away from the household of faith. There are so many reasons as to why you should be angry or bitter or even mad with God. But just still trust the process. And know that God plans for you, that they're good, Tanja. Thank you for sharing this out. They're good, Ernestine. They're good, Stephanie. They're good. And they are to bring you into an expected end. It's to bring you to an expected end. God knows best. You never know what God was blocking. You never know what God is trying to get to you, as a matter of fact. Because as we went on through the course of the day, I realized why God had rerouted our plan. Because I got a chance to sit at the foot at one of the wealthiest men that I know, who's going to be my mentor. Yes. So God will reroute you for a reason. And I just want to encourage you guys today that you may be going through your rerouting process, that God may be changing the plan in your life. But I prophesy that the destination, that is going to be glorious, that God is going to restore you. He's going to come. God is going to strengthen you, and he's going to give you double for your trouble. I've never seen anybody in the Bible who obeyed God and then the outcome was not favorable. So it's going to work together for the good. So today, yes, you may be crying. Today, you may not have any money in your pocket. Today, some folks may have left you. Today, you may have lost out on some things. That's today. But please understand that God has an expected end. The plan is already written concerning your life. You just got to obey, and God is going to replenish. Yes, Messiah. Woo! I heard the Lord just say that he's going to replenish. Yeah. Oh, God, my God. Oh, my God. God, I thank you for replenishing your people. The replenishment is going to be better than what was lost. My God, let me look up this word real fast. Let me look up what this word means real fast. Replenish. I know what it means in my dictionary. Listen. Listen. Replenish means to make full or complete again. My God. Replenish means to make full or complete again, as by supplying what was lacking. Y'all, he said that he is going to make us full. He said that he's going to make us complete again, and he's going to supply to us the area. He's going to fill the area that was lacking in our life. Hey, so if you were lacking valuable relationships, please understand that God is going to send them. If you were lacking money, please understand that God is going to send it. Whatever that you were lacking, whether it was your peace, whether it was your joy, whatever it was that you were lacking, God said that he is going to make complete. He said that he is going to replenish. Thank you, God. Yes, God. He said he's going to replenish. Watch this. And also replenish means to supply with fresh fuel. Woo! Y'all, replenish means to supply with fresh fuel. Oh, God is going to replenish you. He's going to supply you with something fresh. It's going to be made new again. So don't cry over the things that you've lost while you were changing season. Don't cry about the people that walked away from you when the seasons changed. Please understand that God is going to supply you with a fresh fuel. And also replenish means to fill again, to fill anew. God is going to fill you again. Stephanie said that I'm going to get double for my trouble, and I thank God for it, because he's going to fill you up again. Your well will never run dry if you just trust God through this change process. Oh, somebody just need to say that I'm going to trust God through the change. Yeah, just trust God through the change. God, I don't understand why it had to happen this way. I don't understand that why it had to happen today. I don't understand why it had to happen in this time or in this season or in this year. But God, I trust you, God, that when I'm done, that the destination that is going to be favorable, the destination is going to make me smile again, that I'm going to have my joy again. That I'm going to be replenished and that I am going to be full. I'm going to trust God through the change. I trust God through the change, y'all. I'm going to trust God through the change. I'm trusting God while he's redirecting some things in my life. Yeah, when God, listen. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. When there's a change of season, like some seasons, when you look at the tree is full of leaves, it's full of fruits. But when it changed the seasons, sometimes that thing looked dead. Yeah, my God. Sometimes it looked dead. It looked dried up. It looked like it's rotten. It looked like it doesn't have any life when it's in one season. But when God replenishes you and when you're back in the right season, that same tree that was once dead, that tree that did not produce fruit, that tree that was dried up, it is going to produce fruit because the timing of the Lord is set. The timing of the Lord is set. So yeah, you may feel weary. Yeah, things may look like they're drying up. Things may look like they're not going well. You may look like that tree in the winter season right now. You may not see no leaves. It may look like this tree not going to produce nothing. You may even want to cut it down. Yes. Some of you all been wanting to throw in the towel. Some of you all been wanting to give up. No. God said, and he said, when you get to your destination, you're going to see that same tree that is going to produce fruit. And you are going to be the tree that produces fruits. Rakita, you're going to be the tree that produces fruit. Yes, what looks dead is yet alive on the inside. And listen, let me tell you, when you're walking around and it looks like things are not going together for you, pay close attention to what's happening and who's around. Because a lot of times God will allow things to dry up or to become dead in your life to see if people can still honor what looks dead but can believe what's on the inside. Listen, because if you don't know nothing about a particular tree, and if you looked at the tree, a part of you could want to tear the tree down. A part of you want to knock it down. A part of you want to uproot it. Yeah. That tree, that's what some people want to do to you because you look dead right now. You look dried up right now. You look like things are not going to come together. It look like more is against you than they are for you. But God's saying that he's allowing the tree to look like that for a reason. Shaquita, you're looking like that for a reason. He said you're looking like that for a reason, Rakita, because when you are dry and when you are in a drought, when it look like things are not going to turn out well, look around, because God said that I will allow you to see those who appreciate you in all seasons. Yeah. You got to see, listen, when your well is dry, when the branches are shriveled up, you got to see who can still value you. You got to see who can still honor you. You got to see who can still respect you when the leaves have died, when the branches have withered up. You got to see. Because when it's your time and when you begin to blossom again, the Lord is going to bless them for sticking around when they could have left. Y'all don't understand. Come on, Martha, or Mary and Elizabeth. When one of them got pregnant, both of them was pregnant because they didn't abort each other during their barren seasons. Yeah, my God. They didn't abort each other during their barren season. So the Lord said that what I do for one of them, I might as well do for both of them. And so I'm grateful that God is not only going to bless me, but he's going to bless those who can stand with me in my time of barrenness, that can stand with me in my time of nakedness, that can stand with me when I've been imperfect, that can stand with me when I made some mistakes, who can stand with me and still can see the value that's on my life, that can still honor me in spite of what it looked like. Woo. Yep. The value. See who values you when there's no leaves or no fruit. Oh, okay. Let me just go. All right, so I bless God. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for just sharing this broadcast out. Don't forget to share it out, tag a friend, tell somebody. Yes, Tanja, we got to see who gonna stand with us. Yes, Tamika, we got to see who gonna stand with us. Okay. All right, change of plans. It's the will of God. As a matter of fact, some of us need to be praying, God, change the plans. God, reroute me. Put me on a new course. I done got all that I can off this course. I done got all that I can from this idea. God, it's time for me to birth something new. God, I done well right here, but it's time for me to move. Yes, I like this old house. I've been here for quite some time, but God, I'm ready for something new. Yeah. Change of plans mean an upgrade. Change of plan means something better. Y'all really think that God going to change your plan and lead you to something that's not greater? Do you really believe that God is going to change your plan and not lead you to a prosperous land? No, all of it is to bring you into an expected end. It's necessary. It's necessary for the growth. It's necessary. I just want you to know that it's necessary. So lift up your head. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. I love you guys. Hey, Ken, Kelly, I love you. All right, I love you guys. Be blessed. Blessings. Hey, and I got some good news. I'll tell it soon. Bye.